대용 다티 룬드 타워 마냥가 치와 초와 넘바 동선지 자상도 냠바 지더거 대니 론이 마치 마치 추마노 사르 효이지 주구디 롱글루 뱀보 디 만상서 제장히비 토파 가르지 고스 다테 지레주도 티 미람크 콘덴삭 뇽구 지레 체첸지나 미런도 솔로 감본던다 유나 다타 콘솜바노 테니 다티 룬덤 남정구 루타드 마인 파직 체와 초와 넘바 지레 체첸지나 지기 가리 구구 군도 노르북 종콩 노jan단다지 안디가서 체와 초와 넘바세 동선 자션도 냠바 찍더 감 데니 롱냐 마치 트마 노모사르 효이 지투구티 롱글루 뱀보티 만삼스디나 타치 콜로 이박 주우타가 만삼나 체 잠치 조용도 다 토파테 카르 제주도 링크 토파테 가르치 코즈나 롱슈kum 파용스 지반다 고 테니 토파 대용용 다틴다 타브 마이엠파 총총지 마이엠파 토파 대용 동선지 자션도 냠바 돈다 침부 지다 감용 데니 트림 쇼 연비 토파테 롱니 뭉구 예브 랍도 냠바 samche tengda traba rongla tenti gut tandi zota chitong da choma tenti zo de yong ra mandra tenti zo le mikpala yona cheri zo jinsen tama chole ma to jisindi kapsa ye percent mungo go ye percent kawani yong z kandi insan go tani cheri zo ti ye pro to nyamba tandra che ka sanji to tanala teni ronko lu kapala de yo tinon la ronko lu de zog solida yon chere zo do che on chan tandra zo gam je yong de shoton nyu mon bandama na so ko onki samlon dama na so tandra yong so ji che yin le tandi zo de puk na da kar tanda zo na enchi manchi ke jere zo topa sante kani tse unzore tanda ji lupo tandi zo jer ta te da choma chi che se ge ji sang ka non ya di che jong tanda ji gam tandi zo gam de ji ta samlo tong char chang ji re de yo le samlo tong char chang ji re ngni re te dembar jere zo ngo cha gin da chna samlo tong char dala tabhi chepar pachi yole rese tabhi chepar pachi yozi jinsen kare rese na namjin sang di to na la jere jido gem gek nam to mo charan sole re yongu ji mixer ka mage nam to de samji macha po mombo charan sole nam to trimban tazna ji nam to la kauna kauma thapa zona zoma thapa samji mashapachi namto mombochi tumban no yin tam su da je ko gna ko thogu mari jere jido ndachi je do tane namto de tindi zo tik charon namto de sang no la ron la tani namto de char go ndi pa ma ta ta je tane yo jere jido san la jen chule ombo go nga mo chage miko ombo de ndi go nga la tani yung na to ji yung zi zo sur go nga ga pe na mi gu zung ton na bi da tu na ga tro cho na go yung na ba to fa ji zi zo tandi zong de tan ta ti nam to de tandi sang ko to la ji char yung du ta ti nam to te je zo sur nam to te ke sang de na la ngo cha ge bo chao se ji yao sur bo chao ta to ka ke la bo chao se do bo chao yo de tan la bo chao yotsar landa te sundo dudu zogana Karwo Chik Posho, Maru Posho, Nofu Posho, Posho number Sanji Yosel. Milk Zook Tona, T Central Chikanto Chicharna, Tandachis and Rosser. To Zoditanala, that Karma Ink Posho the Yaw, Nobu Posho the Yaw on the Tanala. Tene, T Posho Santala Tani, ni Dun Lucy Chanjik, Jetty Trayon Zindandate, Tata Chiri Judochi, Karu Posho Latani, Lutus Zindanda, Maru Posho Latani, not to Zindanda, Nobu Posho Latani, same say Chanjik. Much that is so you same number hipati, and is a young resid. That is the Namjong much so you that thing. Madop lu, madop no, madop sense yondu. The Sankatola Tanis yon, Sankatola yod, Sam della, Jed Sam Telan Samsala, Pa Eva Hegana, Sanla, Chu Jit Sechenton, so Mama Hidden Terina. Going you could Sam says, going you could number hipa sage. Going you take it to the Sankurku young man than the Terrider. Telam Eva Mumbo Hedger, take it to non chumato, Tamai Him such Yulmer. Take him the tunnel, corrugated to the lead of onk, league on Corona te Chunit Segana. Go you Mukatanala, Pocho Yosach, Yon change your little. The thing all at the Pocho the tennis of Yon, Namjan tennis of candy, Namtok shall de na. The Pocho Yons. The Pocho tella Tani, Ki Mount Pala, Shiva tella Tani. Should not yonj, non joke luh yonj. Then he sank not to yonj, Tanda ten younger. Then is what an tati posha tedot somati, Tata asu undi so the chum, Bena machi trumagon, tea herum to so gum, Tandizo, then it tandi so the chum, Tata and the Dizo, Tombo in a machi gum. Then he lupo kita the lupo muna chops, disons. Then it tricky said the trello, then it the no yacht, then is on the without some lican sabot, and doesn't tell us all of cogs, then is on a young trini. Cale, the tapantil, licanora, nyorton, licanora, nyorton, Saint Lord the owner. Then it taught Tanala, then is a gum just taught Tanala, Tony Higis and the Tombanyak Tissanzi, Chizo on the tunnel. Much lado to so gone to Nashank, Carnot and your Talam, you'll read the Yanayon. Jerry the Sarvati, Tomboron change, Tombak Jite, Janson no Yandachi, so Janton de Anjala Jerry the dirt the mother Pachian, sound the Jumato, Jazon Tugger, Jak Upori Sanchi, Tino Yandachi Gambia. Then Kale, Tendis Gambia, doesn't the San Lolion. Then he cale Poshon that nyon, then he not checking that Yeshik Posho, gave a Posho. This switch gave Posho took cheer chion tunnel, then he sang chester chion, then in Yamachilla, the Muzik, Yeshik Noma, said the Sharon. Yeshik Noma the Sharon, sang Noma tomat, no, sang Noma need that in George. That to do the Tandis here the glimmer, Koryeshik no reach a talk on no heart salad. Then a Karisharona go Yeshik no, Yeshik Rora Yeshik no Mato, Gonyong Yogomare, Tatu Gona Yolemarti, Yena, Teta Monozic sang no sang the Rora rain to do. Tesu cherry to the scale, not to the cock chetal, Talizo, to so gum jig Google Mato, Yon Tomsola, can I tombo mar, Chitruma, the new low Roman, the topa suco, Yon Manal, lower the Tanala, Mungo comb, Mungo sunk, Yep, Tado San, Tito Tanala, the Calabon pan, Tino Tana Rome pan, Tata Yet, and is the Tabona sound like the good change, Nick Jensen Mumbo Julius. Okay. Now I'm just to say in what I said Tibetan. Then here do not think of your body as having its normal appearances. Instead, see it as fat, great, and huge, as big as the entire cosmos of the billion world. It's almost the same, yes? Yeah, this is already I did. And with a single blow of the knife in her right hand, the wrathful black mother, the visualized form of your consciousness instantly slick off the top of the immanent body's skull at the level of the eyebrows to make a skull capsule. And here is like more means it's like one is you are like kind of the coming out from central channel, your consciousness, and then it's like kind of to become the wrathful or the true mother, and then is your body is like kind of collapsed, and your body is not normal appearances. Instead, that is like really fat, crazy, and huge. And it's entire the most of the billion world. And with a single blow, that means it's like the immediately, like at that time. And what you are visualized self as the true mother, the curved knife is like kind of very special knife. Her right hand is holding in the space, and a wrathful black mother. That times you can visualize form of your consciousness is like this, and then it's like the instantly slice of the top of the immanent body, circle at the level of the eyebrow to make. That means it's like kind of the eyebrows like here is to just the showing the curved knife, and automatically kapala's coming out, and then you cut it out the kapala, and also again meditate that the skull cap is not like a life size. That means it's like not normal size, but as big as the entire cosmos of the billion world stem. And this sort of things, it's maybe sometimes due to our disturbing emotions. It's very funny, is it? Someone is like this kind of visualization. Okay, I can't visualize theirs, ours. Which kind of the benefit? Why I need to do that? And this kind of visualization, it is a very, very important thing. It's a special method. And we are giving job to our minds. Generally speaking, when we are thinking about the mind, in the mind, there are the thoughts. Thoughts are inconceivable. It is like a kind of the cloud. It is like a cloud, it's the crowding. So much past, future, and presently. If you want to stop, impossible to stop. Impossible to interrupt. It's a flourish. And then, what is the problems? These kind of thoughts. These normal thoughts are we have negative, most time negative thoughts. Of course, sometimes positive thoughts, negative thoughts. All these thoughts, which kind of function, this kind of the problems. And this all the thoughts, sometimes it's mind itself, it is the thinking about the past, futures, and sometimes my mind has conditions and according to the 5 faculties and receive the external object of the 5 desirables. Like when you see the form, sound, smells, why you make thoughts, you thinking. And this thinking is like a kind of the making habitual patterns, tendencies. And these habitual tendencies normally to resume is like white habitual tendencies, red habitual tendencies, black habitual tendencies, 3 tendencies. And these tendencies, according to these tendencies, is created like out of environment, in your body or the sentient beings, and the like normal consciousness. These 3 are the automatically kind of the produced. And now I'm saying like, of course you know the mind, when you are classification, there is like kind of the 8 different type of the you call the consciousness or the mind. But one is the very important, you call the alaya, or it's like basic consciousness. Funny things, this one is like tiny, subtly if you analyze, you can to divide it to 3, analyze. This is like very special in the Buddha's teachings, analysis, and nothing in the science, nothing in the kind of modern to analyze this. Then this in the alliance, there is one is like storerooms, and all the habitual patterns is there. And then these patterns is like kind of, it's a kind of, and also it's, I didn't say in, how to say, in Tibet, but it's now in the science, neurologists, like kind of the, they're talking about the patterns. For example, like they like make like hole like this, behind to put something like this. And they send the electricity to go to like this, heated like bowl. Electricity is coming back here. Going like this, and coming back like this. Electricity is going like this. And then on the behind there's a heater place, they make something mark. And this mark is that they say is a habitual pattern. We call the patterns. And we call the habitual tendencies. In the Ayurveda book is habitual forming imprinting. And this one, now it's like also science, the neurology, this one is patterns. Then it's like we have patterns. Of course, it's the finally it's a different research. But in the Buddhist perspective, these patterns, according to these patterns, like according to the black patterns, to receive our body, different body, and white like red the patterns receive the verb, black patterns, and we can to get the consciousness. And now we are like kind of the pattern is not very good. Now we need to the negative pattern we need to purify it, eliminate it, and we need to more accumulate the positive patterns to good kind of, and like kind of the pure body, few verb, few minds. And then it's like maybe virtue you do or visualization. You give the job to this kind of creation stage or creation phase or like visualizations. You give job your mind to thinking like this, slowly. You are like kind of thinking like this, Kapala, this, and beside there is two things. One is the compassion, one is the wisdoms. Then mind is working on it. And you are like kind of mind occupied that. Your machi trimas and like kind of coming your consciousness. I am machi trima. This is nature of your mind. In like kind of the natural disposition, it is manifested. And now it's like through my like kind of the negative patterns received my negative like contaminated body. So now I'm used. It's like kind of the front of me or the below the me. And then it's like, okay, and any kind of contain is not good, but I want to melt. I want to something to preparing for the offering, for the generosity things. And then you take like in your like this knife, you just to show in the like kind of eyebrow and the kapalas coming out. And then certainly there is like naturally appearing from the emptiness, like three kind of the like kapalas. How it translated here? Ye plus stone, yes. Like with her left hand and wrathful mother, pick up the skull cup and placed it with the brown facing here her on a tripod. I think you can say the tripod. And tripod, it is like three cup, like human head. And to put that this, the three human like kind of head or tripod, and then your kapala's top up there. And then of course later you pick up left hand, the cup to put inside the kapalas. And then is later there is coming and the fire and this thing. Then this kind of sometimes you think, this kind of visualization is, why do I need it? Then the conclusion is, you give your, slowly you give detail many. Then maybe slowly you can to reduce, make more reduce. Behind there is, you give job to your mind. One is thinking compassion, kindness through the sentient beings. Other hand, in the normal world is non-conceptualizations or the like these dissolutions. Hence, there's nothing like a kind of thing in the substantial existence. This behind there or the combined, then you reduce. Maybe one day you don't need any visualizations. Like without visualizations, your visualization is the best visualizations. That is the meaning of the Pajina Paramita. You know, Pajina Paramitas, no meditations. Best meditation is the no meditations. There's nothing meditated, but you are meditating. I didn't say in Tibet. Gam ju koyo mela gamba tamti gun chot jarwayan se. Then is kale mipati nyamachila drum zone. Mipa nyor chindotan nyamachila ta mi unchi se chiole mare mi je mi khan ron mi po yer mi jik po koyo mem tong song e ba che untan tela chirton chot jarwatan raje ganj mepala gam chiole te gam non chot jarwase chere judo mipa mepa chila mi duji san yin mepa gam de gamjir ndarisin zogu zugunji memi chanchik tela chuji ying tomba nye chu tamchik chu nye se tanda jila tsen tata jira midena kunzuk likanda chire tu gam gri chom kotik uni ngama danda tela lepcha sung lepcha de ta gam gogul ma se tenda wore do te mahle padas. I'm choose to what I said in English in Tibet. And that until there, we need to visualize. We should to do it though. It's a wonderful thing. And the nacho cherejudo chegi tandis gamik ngobo nilu te sammasa padla mikpazo gam je gogre. Mipado gam je tela ngi kong de chupa no yo nam yun dosho yedon tum ngajar ko nanto mombo ma chando jitege. Ti nam to take a posho do chop yoditani ni tun lusina should not you corb no jum corb lu. Then it is a par corb number shipa seji tunala madengan. Te soma te teli trouble yourself. Then it posho te sat chindo the posho pitor thunder yehi posho se chugre. Yehi posho yot and palanchilla top of no one sing a chakundu jungle. That top of no say ni taron hiri con number, loba number ni the nature teacher, taron, top show me. Yeshi noma, said Jinama, yeshi travachim noma said, yeshi ko roba, yeshi ko sal, yeshi ko noma said Sharon yo. That go mar, you gone, Yulimar. Could nearly could sense a son's hugely draw salad. Tan corba sage, tell you mar, yon sage, kahani go my hincom saying, that te yanchimachi. This sense I think ni look this mazanje pardala gumpty gap and zogo so it is. I'm just to say until you received your like wisdoms appearances. Until there, we need to visualize, very important, in order to, as much as you visualize, this kind of the imagination, and this to decrease your negative patterns, to more increase positive patterns. And then it's like one day, all your appearances, your perception is all the perception of the wisdom, primordial wisdom, and they produce externally whatever appearances of the primordial wisdoms, primordial energy, primordial wisdoms is like a kind of the discipline. And then you don't need to do any visualizations. And until there is visualizations, very important. Do you have any questions? Yes?
First, I have a question about the title. Maybe I asked before, but I need to ask again. When we say this lonely chain, the vast expanse, how is this expanse is different from this yin? The word yin and long, what is the difference? Both are sometimes translated as expanse.
Londo inyaga la chepachi. Oya, tangi tombo ti jerok. Usu chere judo di konzon la mongola long chen hin tiksi long seji tedo. Ngochig namju chuji ying seji kale ying seji teni la chepachi ole re sewa. Teni la chepachi ji yo mare long seji te ying seji te. Nganda jenga chi uto ying seji te chunyo ka dala teni. Jeri judo mason gyume ka chase gana. Chunyo ka long chenpo ti dati la tenra bochi ying seji te tandachi la teni. Yin na jiri tuen upo ka toni nika la ewa chi yoga mare samchindu. Ying seji te ming ka chani yao yung na long seji te yuan ten ka chani yao zire sega yo. Ying se chani zong te tela nrewa nga je gana ko jiri judo ming ka toni ren rodo. Ying se te chuji ying se te chiyo pi tandachi la ko ying seji te ta je mason gyut me pa tandachi la ying sega. Long seji te jachimbo chi to tang tupo chi to ha lepa chi. Pe na jere se chi na chunye ka ying ti nong ta na kundi ka nongwa chi yudu juk tsoma. Kur sapa kansung korwa ka chu, nyongdi ka chu tsoma pa nong luga na darung yung chole waji mato. Te la jere zido kutu fonde tsawanyi ni yo ma re. Te ka long seji te jachimbo chi to teng sapo chi la kogo yuan ten ka chani tao zre sang yo. Ako so? I'm just to say this one, the natural expanse, and I would to say is the natural space. Natural expanse, I don't know, natural expanse is yin, yes? Long, as natural space is yin, yes? The natural space is in Tibet, you can to say yin. This is, I would to say, the noun. And this is like kind of in Tibet, each Tibetan language there's behind the reason. You say the sound of the yin means you cannot describe. And the nature of the realities, it is like undescribable, untalkable. And therefore this is like kind of the yin. And the natural expanse is the long means is the qualities aspect. It is like the deep, large, even in the you put in the two nature of the realities, all the phenomena of the samsara nirvanas, there's nothing kind of the to become the more distressed or something. It is like still like kind of like light openness, and therefore there just one is like I would say long and natural. The space is given the name by the qualities perspective or the qualities perspective. The yin is like more than now itself is like this.
I have still another question.
Mm-hmm.
When you said the other day that one moment of consciousness comes from another moment of consciousness. Consciousness doesn't come from something outside. It's not something created, it's something that comes from itself. Still, I have something that I'm always thinking, is there a first moment of consciousness? If there is a first moment of consciousness, it means before that there was nothing. Or it comes from something else than itself? Or is it in a circle? I don't understand this. Could you please clarify?
Teachers morong treba ting sapori halipa treba ting sapori kareris ni kaso chedis namshi la jodon chen se jo maris ngachang namshi del namshi la jodon chen namshi yen ji hipa mari namshi gong li yong hyong yo maris hyong sun jong hong ko jodo chen yo maris tani kari hyong zres namshi koro namshi li hyong zres sen li hyong zredum sen yen ji li hyong maris ditba terwa chorong se 다 때에나 샘도 센리 형제나 센때 마형 공항라 간다지 요리지 다 때자 제설리 때르지 던라가 차로 싸움도 좀에 우보지 가발이 형제래 그래서 쌈지 마샤 들어와 땡 사포리 때 문이 땡 사포리 때 땡송 땡즈 랍고 논추고 논이 나고 마스 랍가 람마트 파탄다 삼송의 용고를 that is I think is your question is quite profound, deep, but logically, the procurator the travatin saporiti yanayo pa katuk tandri sound what you don't yana. Sen li sen hyong, sen kurong li sen hyong zri mato. Sen yen ji li hyong se chi matsa yo lole mari. Chu tam chi ka gong dong gong yen na rong li hyong hi rong wa shar. Rong shong rong shar zi go le. Tende zo de na pa zi chi yo. I have here some monk kujentas. Do you have? Gundas. Alla ti trovate ngoni trova halipa yomore tandi zodu yanjili hyongzi yanjire choma yongzok samde solere yanjili hyongzi mana nda kanri yana samde hyong yanjili hyongyona telandama naso jig ndali nda hyongdali ndali hyongzi yana sente chiri do tumen nda jigdo 진 종콩지 연지 먼지 짜지 종콩 요 말 가디 짜나 요래 말 근데 매용도 타날 산연나요 쪽 무보 연나요 쪽 근데도 참 롱리 롱 샬레 마도 지스까 땡가 요그 말이다 to nimo dodo jizuga kachigo. Ndanda chenka chigodo. Ndo mama latin shama hie se chinjo. Ndo tombo chire judo chi jonkong hiega kachigodo yando yanre. Ndodo chire judo korku chunyi ga chi zendago yole mare. De yanna di dorjen de tombo chi jizu mupo ti ndam de chak rik ndama naso pen. Mi hietsu la teni zuye ndanda leni ndo dorje de trap char sore ba. Trap char chardu tanda jantan in road tanal ndi ngama la teni shima jin jong sole mato ndo kechi re la sen sole zong. Pe na ko ndi chi yoho do lo jaso kahi ko memory zong. Ko tusu zong re. Zong do memory. Memory do kanan ro son ro sa chega yolle mal. Kanda jin ro. Te yondu tan ndi ngama de jukorong ngama te jozo shima de yong sole. Tozo korong hiong gol mazo kechi rere ke yong te ngupoto ne zo tokso yong mulo kle lole mare chigre do te chire zo kechi ke jant de zo taso ta chire zo ndela korong ko chunye chi yole chunye te ndela chunye ole rete yanna yong di nong ko dachen mombo ta ndela dachen tongshur mombo yojir nda chig mari wa ndela chire zo shok yena shu yon cham je ole re Dinolo daten ramanaso olere daten rere chiri judur koronka dirk ten roki parti dar chamen and rendurit don chunyu sejte la tundol mato konyon ma ti chunyu korunli rongshar retse undutanala dela chiri judo ronk jamato yepo yanchi konyon met ti no yan chanchi sen korongo chunyu la tugole mato jesaka ronsa konyon yo mare Sang chuni sang la tule mato sang chuni doli yongu mari troli yongu mari hinlion sang chuni sang yondu tenis yonkon sang korong reto sang chuni korong la ten rotan chuni tombo chuni teli yondin korwa nyaka mayong ko kap tenala sam tela korwa yon segu mari yondi yon segu mari koyon segu mari Sam ko yo se chen korong tanda chuni chi tele chere judo sam sanjina ji sok long se gana da te chi mingu chu zo he chi yole ta tanda pela tengu chadu tani tanala germ ni te hyang dof germ chi do ta germ se gana yong ji do ma do pa jena sang ko chuni te da handa ji ko sona tin kuti germ te ta hware ye hi ko no wa jan tani yong di se ji te re Teni ngachanda china hakosona sonji tombu kanto zombo se. Ha mago nang korwan changdu sen re ngachag namjand. Ta sen tendi zon korwa la tse yondu. Hama la ten shima hi sen hama te nyenlan ke jozo te yima te yondu re mato jisaka. Sen jozo le mato jik. Sen ke jote pama kato de zindanda. Pama ke lupo de zindanda. Sado rara nara jini hyonz re se gan tsaba nyen hyonz mara. Saint Corum Saint Legionsre, Saint Jessenri, Mato, Telian Rosa Gonyogmas. I'm just to say that your question is quite very deep, very profound, nice. And I said is the mind hasn't got any cause, conditions, but the cause of the mind, condition of the mind itself. I'm just to say is like logically, and reasonably, if you, to think, first in the relative point of view, if you think like this, of course, first this is created someone's, and created the materials, the human hands, and they create this Vajja. Now this Vajja, one moment is appear like this, appear, and then this is a continuity, and each moment, it is like exhausting, But then it's like first Vajja, second Vajja is absolutely different. And it's changing. If you live like this, maybe 100 years, 200, 1,000, it's automatically disappeared. But then this continuity, it is first, second Vajja is finished. Second, another someone's to creating immediately, there's nobody's first, second is become the cause. Second, itself is appearing. And then is the cause, is the itself. Itself is like continue, is a commitment. This first is gone. Second, when someone's again create nothing less, then there's no cause. Cause is itself. Condition is this. Then it's exhausting like this. One moment is you change. This is in the relatively, and like this. But then you can do this particle to change. Now you are talking about nature. Nature of this one is common in the particles nature or individual the nature of the atoms particles. Maybe this Vajra is trillions particles. And also if you divide, this is like 6 directions, 4 directions, up, down, even you can divide it 10 directions, sub-directions. And then is a piece. And then is like atoms. Each atom itself has nature. And you go to the atoms to divide it. Then finally atom. Then finally you cannot do nothing. It's only the received, the nature, the ground. And then this one is the come from itself. Nothing produced any others. And then it's go back to the consciousness. When it's before the consciousness, our mind is become sentient beings or the Buddha. There is often we can say you cannot say samsaric mind or nirvana's mind. You remember inherent mind, ground mind, based mind, the like kind of the this dynamic of this. In the mind itself, it is natured, but not constant, not atom, not particle. But that is like kind of, then certainly like timeless conditions, you can to say, some a little bit this one kind of moved. It's how you move, it's a very, very subtle. And you recognize, is we call the primordial wisdom, primordial Buddha, not you wandering into the samsara, but then it's like we can choose to talking that one is something where maybe think a source. There's no source itself, and before there is, how you can to say is, even that to say is there is something even the Buddha he didn't describe. Okay, that is this mind ground. And then afterwards, it's like, then it's, for example, now our consciousness, mind, it's a cause of the mind itself, because it's like, first mind is make the cause, and coming the second mind, was I said this one. You have it, but then this, you continue the mind, this mind is not come from the parents' seed, not come from rock, not come from the earth, not come from flesh, blood. It mind is once is like kind of wandered, then is first this mind is become the cause of the second. They continue like this. Therefore, I'm says mind is cause is the mind itself. Mind is come from mind itself. Nothing. The same as the old nature of the realities. That's my answer. I don't know. Okay. Yes.
Bachelor, it's about appearance. You are saying that mind is projecting appearance. But in the term of projecting, it's mean goes somewhere else, outwards, like from one place to another. For example, like cinema is projecting on some wall. So does it mean that these projections, this appearance, are different than this mind itself, which is projecting it? Because in my perception, how I understand it, like the expanse of the mind and the expanse of the appearance or projections are in the same appearance, I'm looking directly on nature of appearance. I'm looking directly on
nature of appearance.
Yes, when I'm trying, like when I'm.
How you can to look at the nature of appearance? That's
when I'm trying, for example, like you said, divide, and then I don't, like I'm kind of astonished. I don't find nothing, and
then you cannot look what you look.
Yeah, but respectively, then I can, after this, for example, is finishing, and I can start seeing. I'm thinking that I'm analyzing how it works. So is it kind of, is there a possibility to look on the appearance?
Look on the what?
On the appearance, like mind itself.
Oh, oh yes, yes. Now your question's okay. Mind look at the mind itself, yes?
Kind of.
Oh, yeah. Sam la sang nong nam tok tong shuror ke ngwa ni kan kanri tu ta ko so le se ta ko se trobate pe na chiri ju ni shuror la te na data asu tan ju da chen chame yerme sonthar da pham ro du teni ku chunya la ta se ngi ko la te mo se chunya chu chin ta so je ko ge mo khon tandi zo yonde tala tate kanri ju che parles ta tenin tama korong trobate sang la kanri ju ta gure sewa ta tereba your question is how to look the mind. It's the mind.
Yes, it's kind of, is it possible to look on the appearance, like mind looks on mind itself?
You think it's like the appearances and perception is like kind of separated, yes?
I myself thinking that, for example, my now's appearance is happening in expanse of the mind. And if I'm looking on the nature of emptiness, I'm looking on the mind itself.
I just it is one person. He has big problem nose, and then it's like a big, very, very strange sound has come from his own nose. But he thought something is a very bad sound is outside. Maybe he thought maybe earthquake or something. He jumped into the water. Then what do you think this sound?
He was mistaken.
Huh?
He was mistaken. It was a sound.
Oh, everything is a mistake. We think it's everything outside, but not. It's inside.
But is it right analysis when I'm doing like this? I'm asking if I go.
Yes, for example, you analyze to them these things. Finally, it's the come back to your mind. You can't find nothing. And also you can to this persons to analyze this sound. Then finally it's come back to his own nose, but he couldn't understand. Oh, look, there is a sound. Wow, maybe something dangerous. He jumped into the water. Exactly the same. External, all appearances, actually, they are often we say is like illusion, like hallucination, like a mirage. On the front eye is dirty things. We think there is a running something. You analyze, oh, there is one animal. Look, this. This is really which kind of horn here. But actually here, yes. There's no distance. No different. Tereba? Temote ngi machik cherejudo kusejla 간디조 따솔레스 휴론도 좀 인혼도 같이 다코르 상로란 디 휴론도 좀 요산 거 삼솔 담바 요지레서 땡이 카르트 못지다 침 뭐지 나혼 네빠젠지 나호는 다침보 정도 그런 거 상질라 혈록 다침보지 사유 초설련지 다른서 아르지 용생 것도 쫓쳐놓은 총 그거셔 대체 솔로 마토를 좀 다용서 고른 나호는 되디도 다든지 저트는 다데 간이 용들은 그런 거 나호는요 그래서 티노 연한테 슈르르 그뭐 저라와 konje 믹 통나 나주 코나 통도 좀 린도 좀 대 하나만한다지 레돌레세 제레드 당연히 기억은 다딴 거 작은데 또 히던 등이 돌진도 통도 아 진짜 통도 그래서 다히리 이게 여기 메시 때게 같은 잠이 열매 손달 판다 다 셀프 유돌 마토죠 ndoti 자티 우선 초 네버게 톨레 말이 tuzo sen pindog dum ta namjin sosu hibu no cha namjin komyo ha mogo mutila te kesha hi nyengu mari hi na go le mari mogo zi jinsen jere dum ta shoror ko no wan da choma choron sen ko no mari zu hu do ta choda zaro mari chu chi sma ta ja mari se jo pano puni seri zo do ya no min tari zo puni moge eksande man no min chupa jendo se te sende 근데 센데 레 덴바리 아가차 쇼코드용 지도 타나레서 코롱니 제리도 녀랑 마 좀 쳔가 지도 데 슈로로 거 노만도도 탐지 잔소에 노견다지 뭐만 노견다지 좀 요래 말이 다 뭐만 그값 되나라 근데 난 누가 슈로라 이제 계셔 시사요는 노마 때다 학고 거지 다 돈도 나한테 롱 때 학고 차도 슈로로 거 노만도도 좀 공에 논세 요그 말 Chishar dena, decere the sang chonter sang no ayan some dena, then it goes true. I'm just to say, maybe in the ordinary perspective, you say this external or appearances is like maybe it's like the energy of the mind. Is the mind is projected. You cannot to say they become angry, not good. And just to look, there is a killing, there is a kind of war, there is an earthquake. These things, how you can to say them? Oh yeah, you are right. These two legs, never say like this. If you really, in the yogi's perspective, these things is like a dream. It's exactly like a dream, hallucination. Absolutely, it is the rainbows. Therefore, yogi and different and individual, like normal beings. Yoga is different, absolutely different. And one of our students told to me, and now I want to go back to before my ideas, impossible. Why? Before I think everything is existence, all the things. Now whatever I see is really like kind of the. Of course, I can't to say realization, but I really to see the like rainbow and hallucination. And it's completely changed, remember, just like this. We study like this, and then we understood, it's like, but ordinary, normal in the street people, they think really everything is truth, substantially exact. This kind of the perspective, you never talk. Maybe they think very funny things, okay? Like this, Timothy, Namjung Nunaj, oh yeah, Tana Yona, Namjung Nunaj, Tana Kishanga Hin, Pie Maniac Jensen Carridan, Hakogumundua, Shurok no one dot Tomchi Sonji Jum Dendiga, Jeridu, Yum Page said Yard, Yum Page said, Musi no one dot so much, Molan, Yaman, Truzi Truncherta, Jansen no Yantigo, Tandida. Pena structure no gender yolemer demba to passage yolemer one copy toshi nanjur but they don't know toshi toned then in the demba mayan but zumba no yanji taha ko sank ton judok on the tanala tani ngala loma timothy kotapi jibo jematakas mama kuti kola hojo mazudu ngawo demba no moyo demba ngawo yo ni jezi longsho go yo tawayan demba yan the tomata nguniyo Some something is on ground to use. Tamonks, Tachi Hosa, Chagabondat and Torrent, Pin Road, Tanjimam, the Jimano, Tangmano, and the Pin Rogan, and Romothocus, Taji Mama, Himbo Memra Chakon, Chabos, take them very dollar. So she hear what you do, two young was in your Coron Kakan that you did dollar. Ki cherizu to titok tuni kali choyen to nyoro. Teni cherizu nilu kutosu kali hakon so. The Amchu said the yogis like to analyze like this, then is slowly reducing the attachment, clingings, and naturally, automatically. And also it's like become a very much simple mind. You know, ordinary people is like kind of created something. I created now. How long I will to stay here? It's mine, my family, my partner, my children, my society, my belonging, permanent and substantially existence. And then it's like you do is thinking, oh, like forever. When you are changed this mind to understand, then you each moment, like hallucination, like a dream, and reducing your kind of this kind of delusion, and like kind of untruth for thinkings. Like these things substantially nothing existence. Everything is impermanent, and now there's disappear. In the word of my perfect teacher says like this. But we go to in the train station, airport, bus station, and when we look, one moment, thousands of people come, one moment, thousands. Where like exactly life is like this, and then which kind of you need to hold it? It is hallucination. It is like kind of the smell eaters city. It is like kind of the mirage, echo. And that's one is yogis. Then it's more like release attachment, and also become very much a simple mind. And like, oh yeah, today is wonderful. That is okay. It's not thinking about the next year. Don't think about next month. And today is wonderful. And also become more kind. I would to say, if you really to understand this sort of, I'm saying it's more in English, because it's the kindness. Our students normally very kind, sometimes very aggressive, and sorry to say good things, and very very kind. It's like a sensitive, like exactly the kindness of the escargot. But escargot is very kind, yes? Sorry. Yeah, it's very kind like escargot. Very much kind of that they destroyed the ego cling, but they are holding everything. Okay, I make joke, okay? Really, it's you understand that it's become. Today, I want to make a little. If your situations, difficult situations, you bear. Today I can to bear. Tomorrow may be changed. One moment I bear. One moment it changes. And after is you should don't do the negative things. One moment you do. Afterwards you have a lot of regret, lot of problems. One moment you practice patience. Just one moment. After I did. It's more happiness is coming. And everything is impermanent, to changeable hallucination. Therefore, if you're thinking like this, it's a very, very benefit. Absolutely we need to set the Bonaparte. Okay, sononde tamche zupanya, toni nyepe dana pan, shegananchi, welcome to Sapan Sole Drokan Drova Shu, Shonchu Senchu Rinpoche, Maji Panashi, Shipa Nyamba Me Pato, Kone Kondan Pera. In Tibet, I didn't say in Pokela, Machu Loman the Zombo Chole, Machamburi to say Chole, Yo Yana Konjanga. Zom Buri de Umanda in it. Tandas only. I translated into Tibetan. All my students are very kind, like Sema says, in Tibetan, Buridu, okay? Buridu. Zombo, Buridu, Tanda yama riddle. Tariddle Bonaparte. Let's go. Eat. Pardalami kusetembar kanyon la dekinjon Orgyen male tsosa drayoni nyarda sonji salangopa